I have a wedding in 3 days. This is going to be the biggest day in our lives. This party has to be amazing. What we are missing is some light show. And I really think red, green, blue LEDs timed with the music would really set this party apart. We're already going to have some black lights and a drink with tonic water that's going to glow in the dark. So I'm pretty excited for that. I'm very excited to get married. Let's be real here. Let's have a good time. And are you ready to watch me fail repeatedly? Because this is 10 tries. Some time ago, I ordered these red, green, blue LED strips, and my idea is to string a bunch of these over the dance floor like this so that it beams the light down, hits the fog, disperses. That's just going to lead to a really cool effect. Now you see these have 4 pins. One is the positive ground, and then the other 3 are the negative terminals for the LEDs. It's red, green, and blue. So with those colors, you mix and match by flashing them super quickly before the eye can even really pick up on it. You can flash those at different amounts, and if you remember from grade school, you mix certain primary colors to make certain secondary colors. That's the basic idea. I have these little things. I don't know if you can see that. It's an LED amplifier. So you put in 12 volts here and you put in an input signal and you can get more power out of the output. That's the basic idea. I'm going to have the LEDs with these amplifiers, and they're going to be controlled by, well, that has yet to be designed. I mean, I have 3 days. I'm going to have a controller that is on the computer in Python analyzing the sounds. That's the idea. I'm not entirely sure if this is how I'm going to be able to do it. Analyze the sounds before they're played or right when they're played with a fast Fourier transform. If you don't know a lot about math, what it'll do is just analyze the different frequencies that are coming out of the speakers, represent those as a graph. It could represent those as a graph, but in this case, I want to have it represent those different frequencies as different colors. And I might even have some of these strips and LEDs controlled individually. We'll see if I have time for that. We'll see if I even get any of this done. So I'm going to do a little research, as I often do before starting a project, to see what similar projects are out there. If someone already has at least some Python packages that, you know, I'm sure there are some that do a fast Fourier transform. Also I can also take a little bit of the code that I wrote for 2 things. The furnace, which it's a Python program on a computer that controls an Arduino, and also the hot plate stirrer that you may have watched in a previous video uses the same basic principle where the computer takes in input from the Arduino, does a little bit of calculation, and compares that to, say, a temperature control graph, and then outputs it back out to the Arduino. In this case, it wouldn't need to take anything in from the Arduino. All it would be doing is just outputting, hey, flash this zone of LEDs red at this time for this long, something like that. I'm kind of designing on the fly, so bear with me if there's very, very little planning, I guess, that goes into it. I already bought the stuff. I planned enough. So I just stole the future wife's phone. I have 3 days, 4 hours, 19 minutes, and 40 seconds. And you'll have to take my word for it. So I have not started I have not started any code for this LED controller. So this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Okay, so I did a little research, found a program that takes fast Fourier transforms and visualizes them on screen. My idea since I can't use any machine learning or anything because that's really out of the scope of what I know. So I'm going to have a fast Fourier transform of about 50 seconds, about a minute, to show kind of the feel of the song, kind of what frequencies are frequently played, what frequencies recur, and then compare that with what happens in a few seconds. So I'll do some math as far as, let's say there's a bunch of melody that happens and then there's a new note or a new set of notes, a new instrument, maybe a cymbal starts, so that when the LEDs start picking up on different instruments or different of these signals, of these sounds, that difference will show the new stuff, not just what already is playing. Because if I have the LEDs flash and strobe and stuff for every little sound, it's going to be too much. So I want to compare the about 50 seconds to a minute with 3 seconds to 5 seconds. So I want that difference to be really emphasized. And the same with comparing, say, a half-second interval. So what sinusoids, what signals are, what sounds are happening in the last half second versus what sounds have happened in the last 5 seconds. So first we researched, step 2, now we plan. We plan how we want to tackle an issue. Continues. If you can't tell, I'm having a little trouble speaking right now because of the whitening strips, because, I'm not going to have yellow teeth on my wedding day. While I'm processing the signal, I'm noticing that all of the low frequencies are being drowned out by what looks like is probably a 60 hertz, which is likely interference from the just the house electrical system. I'm getting a lot of interference, so it could be coupled one of two ways. So that basically coupling is just the signal path is not actually connected to the AC system. That's good. However, the signal still gets into the audio signal path by one of two things. It could either be a ground loop where it's inductively coupled, so a magnetic field is flowing, magnetic fields are flowing all around here, and the signal path, the amplifiers in the microphone receiver are picking up the magnetic fields that are going around everywhere. So it's creating a loop, and that magnetic field is flowing through that loop at 60 hertz and is causing that interference. It's either that or it's capacitively coupled. If it's capacitively coupled, that means the voltage is getting, it's there through the air, the voltage is causing just enough current, because keep in mind, these are very sensitive, audio is fairly sensitive circuitry when you get down to really trying for really low noise levels. So it could be just the voltage is causing just enough current to flow from, the house electrical to the signal path. That I really hope isn't the case, but it shouldn't be a problem. And that it may be that I most likely have an inductive loop, but I have this little thing that's supposed to break that and isolate the loop. So I think that's already resolved from this device. So I think it's a capacitive coupling. The other possibility is that this cheap Chinese microphone input, it's actually it's a little USB sound card. It could be just that the amplifiers in there are just producing noise. And there's really not much I could do about it other than use something other than this. So I tried to use the audio ports, and I also tried to just digitally pass the output signal to the input of, as an input of the Python code. Since the Python code needs an actual input device to read from, there are ways you can do that digitally. I just wasn't able to do it with the sound drivers I have on this computer right now. Since I'm going to be using a laptop for the actual event, I'm hopeful that everything works just fine, but using so that I can have like a digital output from whatever sound the computer's making, so that I'll have one digital path going to the Python code, and the sound being split digitally will go to the auxiliary output, the amplifier there, or the digital to analog converter on that computer. So that's what I'm hoping. In that case, I should have no noise, really. I mean, it's digital, so I wouldn't think there would be any noise because it's ones and zeros. From the possible issues, I think I already addressed the ground loop and my noise didn't go away. So what I'm going to do next is, instead, I'm going to replace this long cord, this long auxiliary cord, with this much shorter one that I just kind of whipped up. So I'll also be able to get rid of this. I'll plug this USB thing, this USB sound card, into the back of the computer. So that'll eliminate a lot of this distance too. So let's try that out. All right, so I'm in the middle of testing, and it's 2:30 in the morning, and I have pretty much no energy left. I'm running into an issue of doing all this math, all these Fourier transforms on this laptop. The noise isn't a problem. Well, there really isn't noise because it's all just digital. So that's a plus. I'm running out of, the CPU just can't do all the Fourier transforms and also display the flashing colors to do the testing fully. So I'll have to find another way to do that. I'm thinking maybe I'll put an Arduino, I'll connect an Arduino to the computer so that the computer can just push out packets, or push out characters to tell the Arduino how long to flash and what color to flash. That way I can kind of get an idea of how my script is working, since I can't really fully test and do the math all on the same computer. It kind of sucks, but it's just the nature of how I was trying to test it. Yeah, it is 2:29 on the 4th, so that means I have 2.5 days left. All right, I've got my laptop set up, and a very simple circuit wired in. Now it's time for the moment of truth. Let's get some music I can actually legally play. So it's 10 p.m. on Thursday, and so the wedding's Saturday. I'm down to, like, I don't know, a day and a half. Does that math work out? We'll check if that makes, I don't know. Something like a day and a half. Let's try this out. All right. Run the program. Little flash. That's okay. Starting audio stream. Come on, come on. Okay, that's not right. So I need to take this and do, because it's inverted, so it needs to be 255 minus this, so that when it is fully on, then it's off. Okay. when the Arduino sends a low on the pulse width, or the PWM signal, the pulse width modulated signal, when it's low, the lights turn on. So, or I want it to be completely low when I want the light to be on. So I actually need to change. So how this is working is I have my computer is sending signals to the Arduino in bytes of just text, say turn the channel 0 red to pulse at this certain amount, so somewhere between 0 and 255, and when it's sending 255, this will actually be, it's inverted, so it'll be off. I'll show you here in a second. Let's just change this code just a little bit, just a really quick change. 255 minus red. Okay. Wait. Stop that, restart it. Now it turns off. There we go. Okay. Testing is the worst part. Well, the red's working. Sort of. I mean, it would be better if I had some beat detection, but this is a good start. I don't know if I'm going to have any more time. Why does it do that? Okay. So you can see as I turn it down, it flashes less. When I turn it up, it flashes a little more. Why is it only working on red? It's all writing to the same pin on the Arduino. So, I'm glad I at least got a few hours of sleep last night. Jeez, I've been working on a lot of different things. I've been working on this, but also, I mean, that's not it, of course, today, because, yeah, I'm getting married. So, we're just going to upload that really quickly. Just, come on. Compiling, uploading, erroring out, of course. Why wouldn't you error out? It's completely, it's fine. It's not like I'm trying to get this, I've got all day, or all night, whatever. I might just have one of these strips that do this quick thing, because I really don't want to give anyone a seizure. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright. Well, this might have to be good enough. I'm going to do a little more tweaking. Damn. But I'm going to be up all night if I try to get this thing to do beat detection. So, stay tuned to see if I do that. Alright, so I optimized my code a little bit, and this should make it a little bit more responsive, I hope. That is so much better. To hell with beat detection. It's doing it. This'll work. It's only 11 o'clock. I might actually be able to sleep tonight. Awesome. Wait. Gotta wait for the drop, of course. Would beat detection make this better? Absolutely, but I don't know that anyone will notice. It's pretty much on beat. Alright, so wedding's in 3 hours, and I'm still writing code. So I gotta go get pictures done, and it's not gonna be perfect. So I ended up using only one LED strip under the DJ table. I didn't quite have enough time to make it perfect. I only slept for a few hours a couple of nights, but we had a great party. The combination of the lights and the fog machine made this party, lit. I will be making the code available on the 10tries.com project page. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below.